What's up, team? Sean from Vesta Live here. And today we're going to answer the question, can I really start a scalable business with under $100? What about under $50? What about under $25? The answer is yes. It is a resounding yes. Not only can you do it, you can do it easily, and you can do it really in less than an hour as well. It's not BS. It's not fluff. I do this all the time to generate extra income for the other projects that I'm working on, for the bigger things that I'm building. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. And please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so. So first things first, I wanted to come up with an idea that could get a simple website up and running fast, offer some sort of scaled cost to my end users, and have another side of the business that adds value but is totally free for consumers. So what I really thought about doing as an easy example for anyone watching this is to start a lead generation business. And rather than think through for hours an idea I had, I literally looked out my window right here and I said to myself, whatever drives by, whether it's a service, anything, whatever drives by, I'm going to try to build an idea around that. Of course, I have to laugh because a septic truck drove by. And for those who don't know, septic systems are for homes that don't have plumbing. A lot of areas in the country use septic. My house is actually on septic. It goes to a septic tank, then to a septic field next to your property, and that's how it gets dealt with. Now, a septic system has to be cleaned out on a regular basis, once every 2 years or so. That's a couple $100, and its septic system is actually tens of thousands of dollars. So in an ironic way, what seemed like a bit of a crappy idea to look at septics works out really well for lead generation because there's different levels of cost, ongoing maintenance, as well as large scale construction. So it actually is almost perfect. Now, the first thing I wanted to do was go and grab a really easy name. So I'm going to start sharing my screen here just as we work through this together. Excuse me. So the first thing I did was I went and grabbed a name, and I went through a whole bunch of different septic style names. What I ended up coming up with that was also available was septicprices.com. Pure luck, because that's not what I typed in. What I like to do is I go to GoDaddy, I go in the search bar and just type in whatever it is that I'm looking to do. I always like to do the .com only, and I search. Almost always your first idea is going to be taken, but down the left-hand side will be lots of other options that are available. So I saw that septicprices.com was available. I grabbed it. It would have been about $20, but I have a plan where I buy a lot of domains and I resell them. So I was able to get it for $10. So either way, whether you have them or you don't, you're somewhere in the range of about 10 to 20 bucks. Now, to be clear also, you do not have to do it on GoDaddy. You could use Wix, you could use whoever. I'm not sponsored by any of them. I'm not asking for affiliate money from any of them. I just happen to use GoDaddy. You can go wherever you want to do this. So step one, I want to have a nice and easy name that made it very clear what we're looking for. When a person goes and says, I need to get my septic system cleaned, or I need pricing on this, or I need to buy a septic system, septic prices is something that makes a lot of sense for me. I'm going to tell you a secondary reason why I use this name as well, that I think you're really going to love. Now, secondly, I want to get a really basic website up and running on this. I'll show you how I think about this in a second. I won't walk you through the entire process. If you would like me to do that, let me know in the comments below. And if there's enough folks who want to watch that, I'll actually do a live and walk through the whole thing. But in the interim, the two key things I'm thinking about whenever I buy a domain name is how easy is it to understand what the website is going to do? And could I sell the domain name easily and quickly if I wanted to? I literally have a mosquito flying around my office here. So right off the bat, what was great is as soon as I registered septicprices.com, and I haven't stood it up yet, as you can see, immediately it came back with an estimated value of $1,200 for that name, for that .com. And the reason that's so great is because I only paid $10 for that, and I could probably go and flip that for $500 to $1,000, no problem, by the end of the week. There are plenty of septic companies in this area. $500 for a domain name that's going to drive more traffic to a site is great. It also means a competitor can't get a really good name. I could approach Angie's List. I could approach anyone who does leads for home services. So just start thinking in terms of exit strategies, even in a small way. Because, team, let's be honest, if you can spend $20 and flip it for 500, that's an amazing return for a really simple thing. Even if you use that $500 to buy some dividend stocks or invest in something else that you're working on, it makes it really easy and gives you options. I don't want to do that, though. What I want to do is get the business to a point where I can sell it really easily for about 500K or so, maybe $1 million, depending on how big and how fast I can grow it. But I also want to make sure that the idea scales. The reason this is important is I want to make sure that what I'm building can quickly get me to a six-figure return, and I could potentially hold it up to 7 or 8 figures if I wanted to. So again, pure luck, I happen to see a septic truck go by because it's a perfect model for this. So the main goal of this website is going to be two things. I want all the septic companies around the country, I'm going to focus in my area first, but around the whole country ultimately, to basically come on here, sign up, and essentially pay to receive leads for whatever geography they cover. Now, typically the way I'll think about this is there's sort of a baseline lead, there's different attributes we can add in for a higher price, and maybe there's even a third tier for like really great stuff. So it might be that you want to sign up just for maintenance. Maybe you want to sign up for new builds and repairs. That's the big money. Those leads will be at different prices, and I haven't thought about how I'm going to scale that yet, but it's not important for getting started. This is about literally taking your first step. So I've got the domain name. I've locked in my idea of how I want to do this. And what I want to do is get the website to a place where I can at least start to market it out to some of the local companies. So right off the top of my head, I can think of 4 or 5 trucks in this area that service this neighborhood I'm in even. And I'm just going to go and reach out to them and basically ask like, hey, how do you get your leads today? I'm a local resident. I'd love to actually help you out if you would be willing to be a reference for me down the road. And I'm not trying to make any money just yet. What I'm trying to do is get some leads to come into the system, get some feedback on them, and start to optimize. The beauty of this as well is I can actually put their name on my site as a current user of the platform. And it also helps me for doing some local marketing as well. The key here is to spend as little as possible. So as an example, I'm sitting on this website builder, which comes for free. It's just a one-page thing. Let's just say home services or something. There we go. Perfect. Home services. We're going to hit next. And what should we call this? We're going to call this septic prices. We're going to make it really simple. Next. It's going to load up in a second here. Excuse me. And it says premium. I'm actually not going to keep it at premium. I'm only going to do this one simple page. I don't need to take a tour. I've done this before. And yep, I got that too. Thank you very much. And essentially what I just want to do here is walk through and maybe change some of these pictures, talk about some of the things we do, what are the services we offer. Now, the beauty of this is on the front page here, what I really just want this to be is very simple and very easy for anyone to jump in and leverage it as a possible consumer who's looking to hire a septic company. So it has to be very friendly. But the goal is I wanted to get us to action as quick as possible. Because remember, the goal here at this point is not necessarily to build the big business. So let's just say, for example, here, I don't think this is a good picture for what I'm trying to build. I want to go and look for a new picture. So I'm going to click change image. I am going to go up here and look for some stock media. Let's just see septic. Let's see what comes up. Okay, cool. Those are good pictures for later on. But first thing I want to do is a home. Cool. So let's just pick one that looks relatively nice. I don't want anything too crazy. I'm going to click view more images here. Let's just see if we can find a nice, simple, beautiful picture of a home. There we go. This is perfect. That's exactly what I want there. I'm going to insert that picture in. Boom. And we're going to say your septic service partner. Super easy, right? So right when I come in, I feel good about it. We're going to say something along the lines of, let's just do it quick. Find a local septic pro today. Beautiful. The goal with this, again, as I'm working through this, is I want someone who's looking at this site for the first time to feel very comfortable, like it looks professional. I can get them free quotes, no problem. That's where we sign up the people on the back end, okay? But before we worry about building an API or connecting a payment system or thinking about those things, the first thing I want to do is have working buttons. This already comes out of the box with Book Now. When I click that Book Now, it's going to open up a name, what service you're looking for, all those things. Those will come to me. I'll be able to go and sell those leads for whatever the price might be to those people who are signed up on the platform for leads. It's perfect. It's an easy way to make money. I'll list out a couple services, for example, like we might say construction installation actually is perfect. We'll call septic pumping. Helps when I have the S there. Of course, this is what happens when you do these things with the recorder on. And maybe we want to do one more like maintenance, and we'll call it other. right? So super, super easy. I'll throw in some verbiage down here. And even as we scroll, maybe I want to take a couple more of those pictures from that stock gallery there and put them in here. And then the goal is to get some reviews from different people who might use the service as well. I want people to subscribe, get the newsletters, all those kind of good things. So I don't want to go too deep in the weeds here, but my point in sharing this was this is a nice looking one-pager website that I can start to put on social media, and I can also start to call around to local septic companies to try to get them interested in signing up, or on some sort of a pilot. Maybe I charge them $5 per lead, and the deal is they have to provide feedback on what they think of it, okay? So let me just stop sharing for a second here and talk about what we've done. For under 20 bucks, I was able to buy a really easy to understand domain name that also has a lot of value because it's two simple words: septic prices. Simple. That means that I could resell that domain pretty easily if I wanted to, or I can go ahead and move forward with building out this site. For the site, I want it to be one page, simple, clean, makes sense for what it's looking for. You want to try to book or get quotes or get pricing? Here's a button, press this button, we'll get back to you. You're going to take those leads, you're going to sell them off. You're going to want this all automated, but just to get started, this is why you want to get a couple of local folks. Now, the reason I say it's easy to scale this thing is I'm going to then go and start a Facebook page, a Twitter. I'm going to get a free Gmail account, right? So I'm going to have my email set up. I'm going to have a Twitter page. I'm going to have a Facebook page. Maybe you do a YouTube channel for this. Again, all totally free. And then I'm going to just start to network with people who are in this area on social media. If you want to take an extra $5, $10, $15, $20, but still keeping it under that number and do some really basic targeted geo advertising, you can do that. In Facebook, once I get that page up and running, I could easily just target maybe the 3 cities around me. And I've got 3 septic companies I've asked to join as a pilot. We start to try to get some leads. The beauty of this is it costs the consumer nothing. So we want to get this out into people's hands who are looking for these services, right? It costs nothing to the actual company buying them until they make the purchase. And the beauty of it is that you have to pump your septic system. It's not a question. So there's already value in those leads because someone who's looking for pricing is 100% going to pump their septic, or in a worst case scenario, they're looking to get quotes to replace it. If you get one job for 30 grand, your margins are going to be pretty significant. So you might be willing to pay $100 or $200 for a lead once you've proven that your leads are good. Now, on the maintenance side, it's more about volume, but just think about this as we're talking about it. The key here now is, let's say you can get yourself up to a pretty good little run rate business, right? Maybe you're doing, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 a month, right? Maybe you're doing 4,000 a month, right? Somewhere around that area. So you're doing about 48K a year in total revenue. Well, small businesses, especially lead generation websites, typically have multiples of anywhere between, I want to be conservative, let's call it 3 to 5x, okay? So just in theory, let's say I'm doing 50K a year, make the numbers really simple. I'm doing 50K a year with my little lead generation business that I've paid very little to get up and running. And I can now sell that at a 3x multiple. I can flip my business for 150K potentially. That's working, running, and operating. Largely, you can automate much of this method once you have it actually set up. You get your advertising on social media at scale. Someone else could easily come in, operate this, run this, add this to their portfolio. That's the entire goal of what I'm describing here. Is I want this to be easy for another operator to come in and buy it from me. So we've talked about flipping the domain for, $500,000 on a $20 spend. We've talked about flipping the business after putting a little bit of work into it, doing some digital advertising, some online marketing, as free as possible is the key. Or the third option is we take this thing really serious and we want to scale this nationwide. We want to scale it big time. I want every septic company in the planet to be part of this. Okay. And those who aren't part of it, they're in big trouble because they're not going to get those great leads we're generating here. Now, this is where that recurring income that you're trying to slowly build here starts to really add up. Now, this is where I'm probably giving away too much in case I want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. The real value comes in how you offer discount programs. Instead of just selling the leads, let's say you had a program where these customers could sign up for a monthly, I don't know, $50 a month, and they get first crack at the best leads that come in, right? So anyone else who comes in for leads, they're not going to get them first. They might be the fourth in line to get that lead. That's just the way it works. That's something you're going to have to work out and understand the value of how you position that. But the beauty of it is, the more of a recurring revenue model you have, the easier it's going to be to value this and have more predictable income, thus pushing that multiple up a little bit. So in the scenario where we're doing 50K a year, instead of getting 150K, if you can show that it's a very strong recurring business, maybe you get 250K or 300K for selling this business. And you can clearly see how with every extra $1,000 you make, you're generating maybe an extra 36, 48, $50,000 in valuation for your company. That's how you start to think about scaling a small business like this that's primarily online, low cost to start, low effort to start, low risk to start. Okay. All can be done from a laptop, all can be done from me sitting right here at my desk. So this was not meant to be the most comprehensive video you've ever watched, but a very actionable video. So if you're at this point in the vid, what I would urge you is go and try to do this. Start a Facebook page for free, a Twitter for free, get a Gmail set up for free. Okay. It's simple stuff. It doesn't have to be a big deal. So with that, I just want to call it and say, look, if there's specific questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them as they come in. But otherwise, there's no excuse for why you can't do something like this, even just to learn. And the beauty of it as well, I would really throw this out there, is if you can find a way to operate this even in a small way, it also is a nice little resume builder to show that you're an entrepreneur, you've tried building something. And again, team, worst case scenario, you can probably flip that domain for even, $50, $100, $200, whatever, just because you want to get rid of it and get your money back. Go for it. It's no harm done. So with that, I really appreciate watching. Hopefully this was a good video and you learned something. And otherwise, I hope everyone has a great afternoon, and I'd love to see your business getting sold for hundreds of millions of dollars. So get out there and do it, team. Thanks for watching, everybody.